So welcome to Holistic Choices, your holistic options to calm the body and heal the mind. So before we introduce Barb, hi Barb.
Hi.
I wanted to remind you that there is a free PDF form created just for you. So there's a link below, just click on that link and you will be instantly sent that free PDF featuring Barb and the other 5 practitioners, their service that they provide at Rising Sun Holistic Choices, their favorite inspirational quote, and the best way to contact them. So go ahead and click on that link below now. So let's get started. Hi, Barb.
Hi. Thank you for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. So before we get into your service that you provide here at Rising Sun, what would you say is your favorite inspirational quote?
That was a really hard one to do, but I think it's just be the change you wish to see in the world. And the reason for that is because it reminds me that I can't change anybody else, but I can change myself.
So like a lot of us here at Rising Sun, we have multiple services. So what would you say is your primary service that you provide at Rising Sun?
Past Life Regression.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, and a lot of people don't even know what it is. And I'll be explaining that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I've had extensive experience in recalling my own past lives, especially. I've recalled 50 of my own past lives in the past 40 years or so. And it has taught me so much about myself, how to live my life, how to overcome obstacles, how to get through issues, how to just be a better person. And really the main thing is having more compassion for myself and for others.
Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, past life regression it's a technique using hypnosis that allows you to recall your past lives that are impacting your present. There are a lot of ways that a past life can impact the present. Some of the most common ones are fears. A lot of people come into this life with fears and they can't figure out where they're coming from. They try to overcome them. Sometimes just by simply recalling that past life where the fear started, they can overcome that. But just by seeing, oh, okay, well, this is from that. This is because I fell off a cliff. Well, that's not going to happen now. That's a simple example, but you get my point.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other reasons. Sometimes relationships are difficult because they have a root in a past life. And elucidating that can help you overcome it this life. There are other ways of past life can influence. There's a lot of ways a past life can influence the present life. And by recalling a past life, you can see yourself more as a soul living a human existence, a spiritual being living a human existence. And a lot of time rise above a lot of different situations that a human existence can cause and seeing in a different light.
What would you say is the biggest misconception with past life regression?
I think the biggest misconception is that, well, first of all, that you have to believe in reincarnation for it to be effective. And you don't have to believe in reincarnation to actually go through a past life regression, go to a past life. You don't have to believe it, but it still can help you. But one of the bigger misconceptions is that people are afraid to do it because they think they're going to find out they're a bad person in another life, or that they may have to relive some trauma from another past life that's affecting them. And certainly everybody's got some trauma in their past lives, and certainly it's probably affecting a lot of us. But let me address the bad person issue first. If you are seeking to understand yourself better, if you care about that in the first place, that you may have caused harm to somebody else, then very likely it's not that you were such a bad person, it's that you were so enmeshed in that personality and ego that you took on. And let me just kind of sidestep a little bit by saying that each life that you have a different personality and ego. Same soul expressing that way, but they are used simply as tools for what you need to learn in that life. You don't have to actually relive a traumatic experience in order to benefit from recalling it. All you have to do is know it's there. You really do need to re-experience the emotions, but you're already experiencing the emotions in this life. You only need to address them, acknowledge them, and work through them in order to release them. But
I think a lot of it is just acknowledging it, like
Yeah.
not avoiding it.
Yes.
I think a lot of us go through life avoiding these bad feelings. And because they're afraid to relive it or to experience those bad feelings. But how are we supposed to move past something if we ignore it,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I like the past life regression. How did you bring the service to Rising Sun Holistic Choices?
Well, I was practicing a half an hour away, which really was not practical. And I was also practicing in my home and in other people's houses with strangers. And I found that kind of is scary. I needed a place to practice that was a neutral place.
Yeah.
And I think people feel a lot more comfortable in a neutral place. And I just found Rising Sun on the internet. And I came here, I talked with Cindy, the owner of Rising Sun, and I was so impressed with it. There are so many wonderful practitioners here. I'm always meeting more.
Yeah.
And so many different services and so many different rooms that you can rent out. Plus, it's just such a peaceful place.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place to experience healing and learn about other services that Rising Sun offers as well. So.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best things about these videos is
Yeah.
just learning about all of us that
Yeah.
are here at Rising Sun.
I've really enjoyed watching all of the other videos
Yeah.
myself.
Well, thank you. So how did you get started with this type of work?
Basically, it started with an interest in high school in reincarnation. When I learned about it, and I learned about it by reading about Edgar Cayce, which a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
And I started sharing that with my mom, and we started having talks, and it just grew and grew and grew through a number of years of twists and turns in our learnings. My mom got divorced and met a man whom she married, became my stepfather, who had been involved in reincarnation since the 1950s. He actually pioneered a method of past life regression in the 1950s when virtually nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
He was also a medium and a psychic. In short, my mom and I have had a lot of experience having had past life regression for ourselves and giving past life regression. So,
Yeah.
And that has been in the last 40 years or so.
It seems like a lot of us practitioners here at Rising Sun, we go through a trial or we learn about something about ourselves, and therefore we feel drawn to share it to the public.
Yes.
And so it sounds like it's very similar to your story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. I love it when we learn about ourselves and we're like, I think it's not an obligation, but I feel like we can't keep it. I think it's kind of selfish to keep what we've learned to ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Several years ago, just like you were saying, that I just started feeling like, since I have all this knowledge and people were coming to me and asking me about it over and over again. Just 4 years ago, I knew that Spirit was telling me I needed to share it.
Have you seen any transformation right in front of you while doing this work? Over
and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's hardly been anywhere I haven't seen some kind of transformation.
Yeah.
I just know that people come in with this burden that they're trying to understand and get lifted off of them. And often it's just something very simple that they'll find in a past life that they'll have an aha moment about it and say, oh, well, I don't have to be like that now. I'm not that person anymore. Yeah. And I see a burden lifted.
That's incredible.
And I do group regressions.
Oh,
I wanted to mention also.
Yeah.
Group past life regressions are a wonderful way to learn a lot more detail about it, what it can do for you, and hear other people's experiences, because I share a lot of detailed information about, in particular, past life regressions. And other people in the group will share their experiences.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through a short group regression where most people touch on a past life, but that you can't go deeply into it since you're in a group.
Yeah.
But you do have an idea of what the process is like. You can share it with others. And we learn so much from other people.
So would you say the group would be the best first step?
Yeah, I do
does this
have
work?
clients that come in for the very first time for individual regressions because they already know that they want to do it. They've already
okay.
learned about it before, or they may have had gone to another regressionist before. But if you don't know anything about it and you want to just learn about it, and you're kind of afraid of it, maybe a group regression is a wonderful way to learn about it and to just get started with it, or even decide whether or not you want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's a great, take note, first action step, group, past life regression. That's great. So you ready for the energy round?
yes, I am.
Great. So I'm going to ask you a question, and whatever the first answer that comes to mind, go ahead and...
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So what would you say is the best advice you've ever been given, and to who said it to you?
Well, it would have to be from my mom.
Yeah.
As I said, we've gone on this spiritual journey throughout our lives together. I think, and I can think of two. One is from Eckhart Tolle, and it is act as if the experiences in your life are ones that you've chosen for yourself, because you really have. You've chosen them, whether it was from before. And they're much easier to take. And the other one, and I think I touched on this earlier, is she is always reminding me, and I always need to be reminded, although I'm getting better at it, I am a spiritual being living a human existence.
What would you say is a book that your favorite book, or a book that you're reading right now, that you would recommend to our viewers?
That was another hard question. I had to think about that, but I brought this book with me because there's so many good books out there, and there's a lot of them I'm reading now. But this one I've been reading for the past 10 years. It's called Around the Year with Emmett Fox. Emmett Fox is someone from the 1930s that interpreted the Bible. Now, I have never been a religious person, and I've never read the Bible really, because I always was disillusioned with religion. But when I read his interpretations, I felt like they just spoke to me, because they are real interpretations that I feel Jesus really meant, that can help you live your own life. Around the Year with Emmett Fox.
Okay. I'll leave a link below to maybe purchase that book online. So we have one more final question, then we can share how we can contact you.
Okay.
So the last question is, what are you grateful for at this very moment?
Oh, I am so grateful that I am at a point in my life that I feel peaceful and good about myself, and I can share all that I've learned in this lifetime and other lifetimes with other people. That is just the biggest blessing, to be able to do that and see people help themselves.
Yeah, help themselves.
Help themselves, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're just a tool to help them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So how can the viewers get in contact with you and maybe set up an individual session with you, or a group session? So how can they contact you?
There's a number of ways. My phone number, you can call or text 330-327-0349. My regular Gmail address, Barb Costello, BarbCostelloe @gmail.com. I have a website that hopefully will be launched by the time this video is released. It's braeinver.com, BRAEINVER.com.
Great.
And I'll have an email address on that as well.
Great. Well, I'll leave the contact information right below this video, so you can physically see your phone number, your email, and your website.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much
for
you're
welcome.
Providing the opportunity for us all to do this.
My pleasure. So again, real quick reminder of that free PDF form provided just for you, the viewers of these videos, that feature Barb and the other 5 practitioners, their service, their favorite inspirational quote, and the best way to contact them. So click on the link below and get that directly into your email box. So thank you again. Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
And we will see you next month. Thank you.